Hi guys, Mr. Roden here. Welcome to your asynchronous geometry Monday lesson. Um, Hope everyone's having a great weekend and or had a great weekend because Monday's here and you're seeing me on Monday morning. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I'd love to hear a good thing, but you're not here, so maybe I'll share my good thing here in a minute. So our learning target today, guys, is I can understand the definition of geometry and how it has been useful to people throughout history. So if you noticed, we actually are going to learn geometry. We're actually going to learn some geometry here. And that's pretty cool. You're going to learn some geometry. So we're going to start our geometry. I know that we started in statistics, but with the pre-AP program now, it's geometry and statistics. So we started out the whole year with statistics. We still need to do a little bit of probability, but I think I'm going to do the probability, but I want to get starting into the geometry. Now, my good thing today is it's Friday when I am taping this, and I'm looking forward to having a awesome weekend. So I don't think I have any big plans over the weekend, but I'm just looking forward to having some time with my family. My daughter has a big run tonight, so I'm looking forward to going and seeing how she does there. So I'm really excited. So let's take a look at your week before we kind of go into the geometry. In the geometry, I'm going to pause this really quick. I'm going to add something to our agenda. Anyways, I'm going to add something to this to agenda because we're actually going to get into a little bit of the geometry today, and I want to talk about that. So what I want to talk first of all is let's go into your homework bucket and see what that looks like. Okay, so let's do this. Go into here. Let's see if we can get into your homework bucket. There's that. Let's go backwards here. Okay. Sorry here. Okay, so here's your homework bucket. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is I want you to make sure that the 917 homework is done, the 12.4 assignment's done. Go in there. Those most likely are emailed to me, so make sure those get done. I'm going to be putting those in on Monday while it's asynchronous. The 914 assignment is done, and that was an asynchronous assignment. And here's the big one. I want you to take the chapter 12 test today, Monday. So on Monday or today, because this is Monday when you see this, I want you to take the chapter 12 test. It's a 10-point multiple choice question. You get 2 attempts at it, okay? So if you do poorly at it, it's due by the end of Monday. So you have 2 attempts to do it. So if you do well on your first attempt, you don't have to do another one. But if you want to take a second attempt, that's completely fine. And I need it done by 11:59 p.m., okay, on Monday, because on Tuesday, I'm actually going to put it into the gradebook. So make sure that you get the chapter 12 test done. There's no new homework assignments that I'm going to add to the homework bucket, okay? So chapter 12 test is kind of consider that your homework, and hopefully you do well on that. And it is going to be worth 75% of your grade, so it's going to be a big chunk of your grade. So take your time, make sure you're getting those answers the way you think. I wrote that test myself. I think it's a good test. It's stuff that we've been going over, and so hopefully you'll do well on it. You can use your notes and a calculator, but make sure you can justify by showing your work also. I may ask for you to show me your work, okay? So so get that done, the chapter 12 test today. All right, so now I want to talk about is, let me go back to our agenda here. Okay, so let me do this, go back up here. Courses, geometry, and then let me go back down here. Okay, so our agenda, so we already did this agenda. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I'm going to create a link here for you, and it's going to be in your geometry. It's going to be in your geometry section here, and I want you to watch the video. It's a link on your front page there, and it'll say Introduction to Geometry. and I want you to watch it. It's a really good video. I always show this to my geometry class, the first kind of intro to geometry when we start it, because it kind of gives you a good idea, and then I'll make some comments after you watch the video, okay? So go ahead right now, pause me. So pause me, go into your Schoology account, and then go ahead and watch the video. And then after you're done with that, then come back and then we'll finish up on this video. Okay, so pause, watch the video that says Introduction to Geometry, and then come back to me and then we'll talk after that. Okay, so go ahead and do that. I'll pause also. All right, so now that you've seen the video, I would like you to answer some of these questions really quick, some questions that I thought about when I saw the video, because I thought the video was very interesting. All right, so let's take a look and see. So the first question that I had about the video is, who was the father of geometry? Who was credited for geometry? And the answer is Euclid. So remember, guys, did Euclid invent geometry? No. What Euclid did was he was like a librarian. He put all this geometry had been around, but he just put it in a book called, and you remember the name of his book? That's right. It was Euclid's Elements. Euclid's Elements. And Elements. Now, remember, Euclid, this is a very popular book. Euclid's Elements is the printing press. It was the second book ever printed on the printing press. What was the first book? Well, yeah, that was the Bible, because back then when the printing press was first invented, that was a very important book that most people in that society read. And the second book was Euclid's Elements. So think about it. This is a very, very important book, and it's a very old book, and we are still studying it today. So I think that's something that we should really, really pay attention to, because I really believe things that stick around for a very long time have lasted the test of time, and they must be pretty important. There must be some really good information in there if they've been around so long. Okay, now the next question I want to ask is, what does the word geometry mean? Well, yeah, the word geometry meant earth measure. Earth measure. Now, why would that make sense? Why would earth measure make sense? Geo is earth, and metry is measure, earth measure. Why would they call it earth measure? Well, yeah, because you think about it, back then, 2,500 years ago, the Greeks were really into looking at the earth. And if you've ever been to Greece, what's interesting about Greece is their climate is very mild. In the summer, it doesn't get too hot. In the winter, it doesn't get too cold. So they can spend a lot of time outside. And even at night, the nights don't get super, super cold or super, super hot. So they spend a lot of time outside in Greece, and they could observe the stars, they could observe the trees, the leaves, the water for long, long periods of time. So they started to see that there started to be some patterns in the earth, and that's why they called it earth measure. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful to you. And then now I want to just kind of look at what I need you guys to do. We are going to start into the geometry book, and I will show you how to get onto your geometry book starting tomorrow. Okay, so when we meet again, and I think that is tomorrow. I think we'll meet tomorrow on Tuesday. So what I want you to do now is, and by the way, if you weren't able to find the introduction to geometry, it was right there. Okay, so what I want you to do now is make sure you get your test done. Remember, your test is in your homework bucket. I'll go into the homework bucket one more time. So the homework bucket, test 12, chapter 12 test. Make sure you get that done by the time we meet again on Tuesday, because remember, it's due tonight at 11:59. Let me know if there's any other assignments. Please email them to me. I'm going to be putting a lot of assignments in this weekend before you see this video, and on Monday I will be putting videos in, work into your grade. So make sure you're emailing me anything missing. I've been corresponding with a lot of you guys about your grades. Feel free to email me and I will talk to you. We'll make sure your grade is where it deserves to be. Okay? All right, so go ahead and do your chapter 12 test. That's your homework right now, and have a wonderful day. We'll see you later. Bye.